Hey friends, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing something just a little bit different. I want to talk about what we did this weekend. This weekend, my husband and I had the opportunity, so much fun, to head down with my mom and her husband to go purchase their RV. So they just joined the RV world, and if you have come to my channel before at all, you know that I love camping. My family loves camping, and I wouldn't even really call it camping because it's more like glamping. We have everything we need. We have our own little home. We bring our pets. You know, like I said, if you follow me at all, I talk about it, and we have a lot of fun. And in fact, we're planning to do a fairly big trip here coming up. So in this process of heading down and checking out that RV, we got the opportunity to meet a YouTuber. His name is Matt. He is from Matt's RV Reviews. So if you're interested at all in any RV, I highly recommend that you check out Matt's RV Reviews. He's kind of a YouTube sensation in the RV world. He and his wife Andrea are just, I haven't gotten a chance to meet her, but I did get the chance to meet Matt, and he was a delight. So I can only imagine that his beautiful wife is just as wonderful. But in meeting him, he gave me one of his little stickers. So there's Matt and Andrea. They have so much fun. Even if you're not interested in RVs, I highly recommend that you go check out their channel because they're just fun. They're honest. I don't want to give it all away. You just need to go check them out. So I'll have them linked down below. But because I got the opportunity to meet him, it inspired me to want to make a card around RVing. And so I pulled out some of my favorite die sets and a new stamp set that I hadn't actually had a chance to use. And I made 3 cards. We made this one super fun. Look, that smile sticking out of the RV there. And I also have one with Max sticking out of the RV as well. Yeah. All right, so let's stop gabbing and let's go take a look at how we made these cards. All right, before we get to making, let's talk about what we used. This first product is the Honeybee Stamps Camp Trailer Card Honey Cuts. I love that it has all the pieces that you'd need to make this adorable little trailer that you're going to see. All the pieces, like even down to curtains, which is fantastic. And then we have this stamp set called Wild and Free. That's another one by Honeybee Stamps. And this one also has a matching die set. I love that companies are starting to do that where we can cut out our sentiments as well. So I have the matching die set. And then I'm going to be using this Avery Elle stamp set called Peekaboo Pets. I'm so excited to finally ink this one up. I love their Peekaboo line. And I have the matching dies to go with that one as well. Okay, to save a little bit of time, I went ahead and cut out all the pieces that I needed for the RV. I ran these through my die cutting machine. You're going to need 2 pieces for the RV shell itself. You're going to need 1 piece that's like a strip. I used some pattern paper for that. You're going to need a door. You're also going to need a chassis. I did that out of some gray cardstock. You're also going to need the parts that would go inside of the door. So I cut it out of brown as well, so that way it would cover on the inside. You could keep the little door handle piece. I couldn't find mine, so that's gone. We also have the hitch. This is one of the windows. I will cut more out. I'm going to cut a frame of the window as well. We will cut out the tires. You're going to need the circle piece and then the little donut piece, and then I had to actually color a piece to make sure that I had the door handle covered, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the next process is just assembly. You could go into detail with these, and you could maybe do some ink blending or even use your markers on these if you wanted, but I'm just going to go ahead and stick the pieces right down, and it's super simple to adhere everything. It all just goes right into place. So I'm just using some Nuvo Deluxe liquid glue to adhere down all of the little pieces. This will also give this piece some more, it'll make it a little bit sturdier. So there's the piece that I colored with a little bit of marker, putting some glue behind where the door handle would go and then just gluing that down. And then I'm going to put some glue all over the rest of the back of the door and adhere that down to the front of the camper shell. I'll put some glue inside where the window piece would go, and then we're going to put that down. Now we're going to do our tires. Same sort of process. Just gluing it all down. That's what makes this so cool. It's just super easy to put together. And then I'll glue down the window.
And then this little piece, you notice it has a score line in it. That is what's going to attach the front camper to the back camper. So I'll use some liquid glue there. You'd want to make sure you're using a very heavy duty adhesive. You could use like a score tape, but I'm using liquid glue. I find that that's even stronger. And then I'll put glue on both ends and attach the front to the back. And that is going to make it an A2 size card. So this will fit perfectly into an A2 sized envelope. I forgot to mention the pattern paper that I used is a Brutus Monroe Autumn Foliage, and I used it for all 3 of the cards that I actually make today. Now we're going to do our stamping. I've got to use the cat. You all know I have to. If I'm doing an RV, I have to do the cat. I could do the puppy as well, but because the cats are who y'all usually see, if you do see anybody, I have to do a cat. So I'm taking out the little paws and the cat itself, and I'm putting this onto some Nina Cream cardstock inside of my mini MISTI. And then I'm going to ink this up with some Memento Espresso Truffle. It's a dark brown ink. And this is alcohol marker friendly. You'd want to make sure that if you're using your alcohol markers that you're using the appropriate ink. And Memento inks are good for that. So then I'm going to flip this around 3 times because, as I said, I do have 3 cards. And then, you want to know something funny? As I am filming and editing this, my husband is out in the living room listening to Matt and Andrea do an RV review. And we just like to watch him. In fact, I'm going to slip a little picture of meeting him in here. This is Matt, this is me down at General RV. And yeah, it was fun. All right, so to color these, I obviously have to color these like my kitties. So this first one is like Miles. I'm going to do 2 like Miles and 1 like Max. Miles is a blue point, so he is getting E50 to start, and W4 was my lighter color. My darkest color is W6, and then I'm going to go backwards and blend that backwards using the W4. Alcohol markers are wonderful because they blend so well together. So those are obviously a little bit different than a dye-based marker. And so now we have Max. Max is going to start with E50 as well. Max is a seal point. They are brothers, though. They did come from the same litter because their mama was a blue point and their daddy was a seal point. You notice I did go out of the line there. I'm going to fix that later. Our second color was E25, and then we have E59. And then I'm going to work backwards once again, going in with that E25 just to blend that color out, and then we'll come in with the E50. And just soften the edges. It's not going to blend those colors out perfectly, but, you know, a Siamese cat isn't blended perfectly. And then here I'm taking my colorless blender to just move that color back into the paw. And then for their noses, we've got RV55. So I'll just color all their little noses that same way. I'm going to line up their matching die with these and tack that down with a little bit of washi tape. Just try not to go over the image just in case that tape gets a little too tacky. Sometimes that can tear your paper, and so I just want to make sure that I'm not putting it over the top of my image. And then I'm going to cut these apart and run that through my Sizzix Sidekick. So this is my mini die cutting machine. I love using this for littler pieces, and it is always on my desk. It sits right next to me because it's so small and compact. It's just perfect. You could probably very easily take this baby with you camping. So I decide I want to have a frame around the kitty so that it looks like he's actually popping out of the window. So I did do a couple of blue and an orange, just matching the doors that I used for my different RVs. And to glue this down, we're going to take that Nuvo Deluxe glue and I'm going to glue it all around the edges. I'm going to avoid the bottom part because I want to stick my cat inside of there. And so I'll put some glue behind him, and then I'll just pop him down behind so it looks like he's popping out of the window of the RV. And then the best part about these little peekaboo pals is their paws. So I'm going to pop their little paws down. It looks like he is just poking out of that door. So, so cute. Now we need to do our sentiments. So I'm going to grab about 3 sentiments from that Wild and Free stamp set, the 3 that I'm choosing. I'm going to actually stamp them out twice and cut them out twice because I want to put 2 sentiments on each card. But these are, I just love this stamp set. It's perfect. It goes well with this RV die set, which is awesome. And I've just got some brown cardstock. I'm going to use my magic powder bag over that. Now this is just, I know it's leaving some residue, but that will keep the embossing powder from sticking to places I don't want it to stick to, and that will wipe away later. I'm going to use some Versamark ink, which is just a clear sticky ink. And then I'll stamp my sentiments down on top of that. And then I'm going to cover that with an ultrafine white embossing powder. This is by Brutus Monroe. It's called Alabaster. And then I'll heat set that till those are smooth and melted. You'll know that it's done because it'll go from a matte to a shiny, and you just hold it up in the light and you'll be able to tell. And then once I'm done with that and I let it cool a little bit, I'll wipe the rest of the residue away. So here's what I'm talking about the matching dies that go over the sentiments. I love this. I'm going to tack those down with some washi tape, and then I'll run that through my little Sizzix Sidekick as well. So Matt or Andrea, if you are watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for entertaining us, especially during this pandemic. It has been such a joy to watch what you guys have done, and you know, you're very entertaining and very knowledgeable about your RVs, so thank you for that. And yeah. All right, so there they are, all 3 cards that I made. I would love to know what you think. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing if you are not a subscriber. I typically have 3 to 4 videos a week, and I would love to keep having you around. And if you liked what I've done here, I'm going to have some other videos linked at the back end here, so keep an eye out for that and head back to my channel. Huge thank you for liking, subscribing, watching, even using my affiliate links. It all helps me to keep producing videos. And as always, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.